Hey folks, I'm back with another video. Today, we're going to compare the performance of state-of-the-art vision language models. This is a visual question answering task where the model is given a sequence of images and a question, and it needs to answer the question on basis of the information in the images. As you may have already guessed from the title, we find that Sonnet 3.5 is the best performing model, followed by GPT-4-o, and Gemini as well as Nova come in a close third. However, there are some key observations that we have found that are quite interesting. So please stick around to the end of the video for some very specific nuances that can help you decide which model is the best fit for your use cases, or if you should be using vision language models at all. Before we get into the results, let me show you the prompt. As you can see, we have a set of images. These images are snapshots of pages from 4 different PDF documents. These documents are all papers or model cards associated with the release of the Llama, DeepSeek, Claude, or GPT-4-o models. They have a combination of text, tables, and charts. If you look at the prompt, we provide the model with the description of what it's getting. It's getting the page snapshots. It is getting context metadata about each page and the document associated, and it's getting a specific question to answer. We tell it that the document images appear in the same order as the metadata in the context. We then provide certain instructions, as well as instructions on how to handle corner cases. We give it instructions about citations, response handling, and an example, and then the question. All of this is standard prompt engineering. The requirements mentioned here, for example, the ability to read tables, charts, providing citations, answering the question in the language of the user, these are all business requirements that we have seen in the field while working with customers. With that said, let's take a look. Now that you've seen the prompt, let's take a look at the results. The first peculiar finding that I had was this one. The question is, what is the capital of France? Based on the prompt instructions, the expected answer should be something like, I cannot answer this question. All the models got this right, but for some reason GPT-4-o chooses to respond in French. I have no idea why. If anyone knows, please let me know in the comments below. Here is another example where Gemini Flash makes a similar mistake, albeit this one is a bit more subtle because it answers in English to a Japanese question. Again, a violation of our prompt instructions, where we ask it to answer in the language of the question. Now, this is where it gets really worrying. As you can see, both Gemini and Nova are hallucinating this answer. The correct answer is 90.8. And they both give numbers that are either do not exist in the context or are associated with some other model. This is the kind of mistake that can be very dangerous to deploy in a real production application. Now, if you thought GPT-4-o is immune to these hallucinations, you would be wrong. Because let's take a look at this example. This is something that GPT-4-o got wrong. Sonnet also did not get a full score here, but it is not hallucinating. It is just giving extra information that was not required. However, the information is accurate. I did want to talk about this one, where Sonnet got a 0. And I feel the LM as a judge is being a bit too harsh here. We're expecting something along the lines of the best model here cannot be determined because all these benchmarks are not related. But for some reason, Sonnet determines that it itself is the best model. But the key observation here is that all of the information presented is accurate and cited. Poor Nova is also being penalized for the same reason, saying R1 is the best model, but I do think both Nova and Sonnet should get full points here. Here is another GPT-4-o quirk. It is answering in Spanish, and I don't know why. The other models are answering in English. Now, this one is interesting in that all the models got it wrong. Again, I think the LLM as a judge is being a bit too harsh here on all models other than Nova. The question is about O1, and it was a trick question because the context does not mention O1 score on the MedQA USMLE. It mentions GPT-4-o, and the models all are saying they're referring to GPT-4-o. But they all get 0 points because they're talking about GPT-4-o when the question was about O1. But none of them is hallucinating except for Nova here, that is giving you 4-o's numbers as O1's numbers. So there you have it. The link to the full results is in the description below. Please check us out and let us know what you think. The biggest takeaway here is that every model other than Sonnet has hallucinated at least one answer, some more than others. So if you're using any of these models in production, you should be very careful about the context you provide and make sure you use a tool like Prompt Judy to test for hallucinations. So before we end the video, I did want to show you this graph. This shows the performance of all the models on the cost as well as the duration axis. Now keep in mind, this is factoring in prompt caching, and since we're using the same prompt and images, prompt caching was a significant factor in the cost of these runs. Typically in production applications, the RAG is different, so prompt caching may not be as effective other than the core instructions, but I did want to highlight that. So there you have it. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. You can see we are a very new channel, and your likes and subscribes mean a lot to us at this stage. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.